Allow me to introduce you to Ground Branch, the most underrated tactical shooter in development. Ground Branch is a game that I've had my eye on for quite some time. Recently, Blackfoot Studios, the developers of the game, provided me with a copy to take a look at, and I'm really excited that I have the opportunity to share this game with you guys today. Ground Branch is an early access tactical shooter in development by Blackfoot Studios, a small indie studio that happens to also boast a lead artist that worked on the original Rainbow Six and Ghost Recon, games that remind me of the tactical shooters of my teenage years. Now, there's no doubt that Ground Branch is an early access game, and it's still a little bit rough around the edges, but the fundamentals are absolutely there. The customization, realism, the tactical feel, and the gunplay are already top-notch, and this game has a bright future. At $20, it's kind of hard to pass up. In Ground Branch, you play as a member of the paramilitary arm of the CIA in either a co-op, a single player, or a PvP environment. Some of the features that are boasted about on the website, and rightly so, are a true first-person perspective. So what exactly does that mean? Well, that means that, yeah, you're standing behind a gun like in any other tactical first-person shooter, but in addition to that, whenever you move around the environment, the gun actually stays in a position that reflects the position that it would be in real life. So if you transition from a walk to a sprint, for example, your operator will immediately snap his gun to the high ready. And because his weapon's at the high ready, it's going to obstruct a portion of his field of view. If you change magazines, guess what? That hand is going to go all the way to the magazine well, all the way to the ammunition pouch on his kit, and then return. The game boasts the most robust customization system that I have ever seen in a tactical shooter. There's definitely still some options missing, especially for cosmetics, but the functionality is there and it's already really impressive. As far as the weapon customization goes, it's frankly just some next level stuff. It reminds me a lot of Escape from Tarkov. You can choose from a variety of pistols, shotguns, submachine guns, assault rifles, long guns, and even the light machine gun, the Mark 48. So there's a ton of weapons to choose from, and then beyond that, the customization level is truly incredible. You can choose from various optics, from various accessories like lasers, tactical lights, and anything else that you can imagine. Of course, you can put a suppressor on your weapon, and then when you go and put these objects on your weapon, you can actually choose the specific location that they go on your gun. So I was running like an EOTech holographic sight with a 3x optic behind it that could rotate 180 degrees right so that I could move it out of the way if I was in a CQC situation, but then snap it back into position if I was taking a medium or a long range shot. And I could choose exactly where on my upper rail I wanted that holographic sight to rest, as well as where I wanted that magnification optic to sit so that I could affect my eye relief. So if it's closer to where my face is, I'm going to get a much bigger picture, but I'm going to restrict my field of view. If it's further away, I'm going to get less magnification, or at least the appearance of less magnification, because it's going to take up less space on the screen, but I'm going to get a lot better peripheral vision. And those are the sort of decisions that you have to make as you customize your character, which is really enjoyable. Once you customize your gun, you can save it, you can name it, and then you can quickly equip it as you prepare for different matches. Additionally, you can customize your kit. So you can choose to run like a Rhodesian vest or a plate carrier or an FLC, or all these different versions of things that'll carry your different pieces of equipment into the fight. I elected to use a traditional plate carrier, and on that plate carrier, I put a bunch of magazines for my primary weapon, my alternate weapon. I also equipped a bunch of breaching charges, as well as flashbangs and hand grenades to supplement everything else I was carrying on my kit. So you have some strategic and tactical decisions to make about how much ammunition you bring into the fight, and if you bring these handheld munitions or other tools into the level as well. The game also boasts truly compelling cooperative team play. This was most evident whenever I jumped into random public servers and played co-op matches against highly skilled bots. I was talking to my teammate on the radio and in proximity voice chat. Immediately, we coordinated simultaneous breaches and flashbang employment and simultaneous engagements of multiple hostiles at the same time. This all led to us running similar scenarios over and over again, trying to get our drills perfect, trying to get that flawless run so that we could just move like water through these rooms and hallways and the woodland environment and take down all of the enemies. Ground Branch also gives you crazy control over the way your character moves. Of course, you can lean left and right like you would expect in any other tactical shooter. But beyond that, the way that you hold your weapon is controlled with your mouse wheel by default. So whenever you spawn in, you'll naturally be at the low ready. So as you look forward in that true first person view, you're not going to be able to see your weapon because your operator is going to be holding it down and to the left. If you use the mouse wheel to scroll up, he'll bring it to the high ready. So now it's going to be up in front of him. You can turn the laser on. You can quickly engage from the hip fire position if you absolutely have to. But there's a risk in that, right? Because as you move through these tight spaces and through buildings, you're going to be pointing that weapon at the guys that you're clearing rooms with. And because this game is so close quarters battle intensive and your drills and everything have to be so perfect and fratricide is a huge concern, you don't necessarily want to run around at the high ready all of the time. So if you scroll the mouse wheel up one more time, you'll transition into a high carry. So the weapon will be pointed up at the ceiling. So you can kind of choose between these different selections. They all have their pros and cons, and it makes for a highly customizable and immersive experience. A feature that I thought was really cool was the ready room. So instead of a typical screen where you're waiting in a lobby with a bunch of other players ready for a match to start, this game gives you a ready room. So you're physically moving around in this space that emulates what you could expect of a group of special operations operators to be preparing for a mission in. In fact, you have your own locker, and all the players that are in that lobby in this ready room will have their name printed above their locker and even on their kit in most cases. Also in the ready room is a shooting range, so you can go to your locker, use your locker to customize and equip the perfect kit for whatever mission you're going into. Then take that kit over to the shooting range and fire your weapons and make sure everything's working and feels just right. And then once you're satisfied with that kit and that loadout, you can move over into the operations planning area and actually look at a map and select a spawn point, and with your teammates all standing around you in proximity voice chat, discuss how you're going to go about taking down that level. So it's an really simple but really exciting and immersive and fun experience to be able to experience that ready room before you actually go into the map. Whenever you approach a door in Ground Branch, you have tremendous control over the way that you manipulate that door. You can move it and open it traditionally by just pressing the F key. It'll swing open like you just opened the door handle and threw the door open. But you can also use the mouse wheel to open it inch by inch. So you can do what would be called a limited penetration procedure for opening the door. So you can pie the corner and kind of lean around it and clear as much of that hallway or that room visually before you overcommit. So it gives you some different options. So if you choose a surreptitious method of clearing these buildings, you could do it really, really quietly without being detected and without exposing yourself to any enemy fire. Or if it's a hostage situation where you want to go in really fast and hard, you can put a breaching charge on the door, blow it, throw a flashbang right behind it, and then come in with guns up, ready to engage targets. It's really clear that Blackfoot knows what they're talking about. There's these little kind of marks of expertise and little details kind of sprinkled throughout Ground Branch that lead me to believe that there's someone with special operations experience on their team, or certainly someone that has consulted perhaps in the past, or their Google game is just really, really strong. If you look at the breaching charges, there's water impulse bags on the back of the freaking breaching charges. So these are water impulse charges that are being tamped by a liquid to direct the charge towards the door, which might or might not be something that might happen in real life. Whenever you change magazines in this game, you can press R to do a traditional mag change, but then if you double tap the R key, you'll do a mag change without retention, which will speed up the pace at which you change your magazine, but it means you lose that magazine for the rest of the round. So if I fire 5 rounds and I have time between engagements, I can press R, do a typical reload, and have a full 30 ready to go for the next gunfight. But if I need to change mags real quick, I can double tap R and stuff a new one in there, but I'm going to lose whatever was left in that magazine that was already in my magazine well. In my time with the game so far, I put about 4 hours in. My favorite way to play is the Terrorist Hunt Cooperative game modes. I crank it up to the max number of bots, which is 30 at the highest difficulty level, and then in a perfect environment, you get with a few of your buddies, and you try over and over again for that perfect run. It's really fun to do at nighttime, so you drop your nods down, your PVS 15s, and you turn on your IR lasers, and you use those lasers to talk and to communicate and work through the level and try to get that flawless run where everything gets done perfectly smoothly and you're cooperating and you're communicating the entire time. You manage to get a couple simultaneous engagements. You manage to do a coordinated simultaneous breach into a building, and it just feels so good to get it right. And I think what's most exciting about this project is the fact that they have this roadmap that is on Trello available for you to look at in real time as they make updates on the development team side. And on that roadmap is all of these features that, as I was playing over the 4 hours that I've invested in the game so far, were things that in the back of my head was like, damn, it'd be really cool if they added this. But guess what? They've already thought about it. It's already on the roadmap. They're already planning to do it. In the very next update, in fact, they're going to add a locomotion update. So it's kind of like the graphics and the sounds and stuff that you expect the developers to continue to work on through the alpha. So the locomotion update will give us some better animations. The characters will move around in the environment a little bit better. And they're also going to continue to work on sounds, of course, because they've got a lot of filler stuff in there right now. They're also adding an encumbrance system. So the more armor, the more weight, the more ammunition you put on your operator, the more burdened he's going to be moving through the environment. And that encumbrance system, I am told, will also include a stamina system. They're going to be adding interactive lights, so you can kill the power, shoot lights, kill the lights, and go in dark, which is just like one more layer of immersion as you play through this game. Shoulder tapping, something that seems really, really, really simple, but I found myself over and over again telling my teammates, I'm with you, as we were pushing through various rooms, so they didn't have to look behind them to realize I was right there with them. Shoulder tapping is a mechanic that allows you to inform the people around you that you're prepared to move into the next environment without having to open your mouth and spoil the element of surprise. They're also going to be adding insertions and extractions. I don't know what that is going to entail, but I really, really hope it's stuff like fast roping onto the roof of your target building and then clearing it from the rooftop down, or landing on the balcony or something of that nature. So we're not necessarily just spawning in to a woodland environment on the periphery and then moving in. They're going to be adding hand and arm signals so that you can remain silent and move your hands and your arms so that you can communicate how you're going to take down the next objective. And in kind of a little touch, they're going to be adding chem lights or glow lights. So after a room's cleared, you can drop a chem light there to indicate that it in fact has been cleared and you don't have to double back through it. I've only just scratched the surface, and there's a lot to look forward to with Ground Branch. I hope you'll go take a look at the roadmap and see everything that is on the horizon and get as excited about it as I am right now. Guys, this game's only $20 on Steam right now for an early access title that's already playable, already a lot of fun, with a cadre of developers who clearly know what they are doing, have already demonstrated a level of proficiency that gives me tremendous confidence that they are going to deliver on all of these promises that they have made. If you own the game already, or if you're deciding to purchase it based off this video, leave a comment below to let me know, and I'd love to clear some rooms with you. Until next time, I'm Controlled Pairs. I play the most immersive PC games in the world. This is Ground Branch, and I'll see you in the next one.